Kevin Willard brings in 7 newcomers to Maryland, giving him the 36th best class, the 43rd best freshman class, and the 35th best transfer class. I'll break down the film of all 7 newcomers, including a top 15 recruit in Derek Queen at the end of the video. Selton Miguel is a 6'4", fifth-year shooting guard transferring from South Florida. He averaged 14.7 points, 3.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and shot 39% from 3. He is a guy that has a smooth jump shot that he can shoot both off the dribble and off catch and shoot looks. He's more of an off-ball guard to me than an on-ball creating, but when you give him the ball, let him get into a pick and roll, he very well can create for himself, oftentimes opting for jumpers. He has struggled inside the paint, and that's why he gets to jumpers at a higher success rate. He's not super quick overall. He relies on a physicality, but that physicality just isn't always there consistently on a lot of his drives. The shooting improved a lot last season. It jumped to 39% from 3. That was by far his best in his career. A lot of it came off pull-ups, but he also was over 50% from 3 on open catch and shoot threes. Even though he's more of an off-ball guard to me, he can be kind of this connecting facilitator piece, especially on drive and kickouts. Overall, I think his defense was solid, good instincts, he plays physical, but definitely can be beat by quicker guards. He should give Maryland a secondary ball handler and shot creator alongside Gillespie, who we'll talk about later in the video. Alright, so we're going to look at a clip here of Miguel, and he's going to be in pick and roll. He's going to have the ball at the top of the key, and so high pick and roll here. You can see how high the screen is set, so the defender's going to go under, and then from here it's going to turn a little bit more into just one-on-one isolation, and this is kind of the shot creation that Miguel has to him. So just kind of hesitates and then rises up. I think it's a pretty smooth jumper, pretty quick, not the quickest release, but a pretty quick release that is repeatable. His feet are very much pointed to the left, which kind of limits his opportunities for off-ball movement, but either way, he's able to just rise up, go over the defender, and then knock it down. And then on this clip, I want to look at some of the defense. So this is going to be him right here in this low block. And so ball gets skipped to his guy. We'll rewind and show the closeout. But pretty good job with the closeout, right? Stays in front. And then this is where I kind of think he does a pretty good job of staying in front here, right? Like the ball handler does not have a clean shot to the rim, but he does give up also a ton of space. Look how easily kind of the ball handler gets to this spot. But again, he stays in front, so they're still good within that. Forces a pass out, and so overall I just think it's solid defense. Rodney Rice is a 6'4" red shirt sophomore shooting guard transferring from Virginia Tech. He averaged 7.4 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. He was injured most of his freshman season, and he didn't play at all last year after stepping away from the team. So he has not had a consistent role at all so far in college. He was a pretty high recruit coming out of high school, where he did go to Virginia Tech. In terms of his style and gameplay, I like the upside shooting. Only 33% from 3 last year, but it was very, very low volume overall. He has good size at 6'4" that allows him to be this kind of self-shot creator. He can rise up over defenses, pretty good release. I think I wouldn't be shocked to see that 33% bump up a little bit to the mid-high 30s. He played point guard some, but again, he's a guy that feels more off ball to me rather than on ball. He doesn't have a super tight handle, and he can kind of cause a lot of turnovers. He has good size to get into the paint when his handle doesn't give him issues. I really, really like the defensive upside, and this is where I think the fit comes in potentially for Maryland. He is a really good defensive mover, plays well and strong on the perimeter, has upside as a shooter, and then maybe could develop kind of more on ball. I think more than anything, though, for him, he just needs to have a consistent role and be able to develop. All right, so then in this clip with Rodney Rice, we're going to look at the pull-up shooting ability, the shot creation that he has. This is going to be him right here at the top of the key. Going to be a ball screen right here. And again, defense goes under. You can see him if this isn't an example of him being super explosive or anything, but just size up the defender. Okay, we're going to get back into it. Defense goes under, and so he just knows he's going to get straight into the shot. And like I said, I don't think it's the cleanest form, but it's pretty repeatable. He kind of brings the ball, it seems, a little bit across his body, but repeatable shot, and I do think it will work. So then in this clip, I want to look at the defensive side of the ball for Rice. He's going to be right here. And so one-on-one ISO, and he just does a good job moving laterally. Now again, the ball handler kind of gets into the paint still, but Rice this time is very much, he is not off balance, he's on balance and able to really kind of push the guard away, and just being able to, like, that whole time really stay in front and just move well like that. I think there's a lot of upside for what he can bring defensively as well. If you're enjoying, please like and subscribe and comment who you think will be the best out of the 5. Jacoby Gillespie is a 6'1" junior point guard transferring from Belmont. He averaged 17.2 points, 4.2 assists, 3.8 rebounds, 2.2 steals, and shot 38.7% from 3 last year. He is a super shifty point guard that gets downhill a ton. One of the best finishers at the rim in the country last year, regardless of position, shooting over 75% at the rim. Now at 6'1", that is crazy impressive. Shooting over 75% regardless of size is impressive, but at 6'1" is super impressive. A lot of what he's able to do is control pace on drives to kind of create separation. So he'll maybe hit a quick first step, slow up to a hesitation, and then blow by a defender. He also has really good body control, and so that allows him to kind of fling himself into big men and absorb the contact, still get off a good shot. I think he's a good passer with a great feel for where the ball needs to go. Definitely, I think more of a score-first mentality, but he's everything you want out of a point guard in terms of being able to facilitate. Defensively, he has very quick hands that should fit in at Maryland, especially like the top of the press or zone that they run. He shot very well from 3 last year. One thing that's interesting is he shot 43% from 3 on pull-ups and 33% on catch-and-shoot threes. Usually those percentages are flips, but he's a guy that can play both on and off ball. He's going to be one of the best transfers into the Big Ten this season. All right, so on this clip right here, I want to show off Gillespie being able to drive, just have that good change of pace. This is going to be him right here with the ball. Pick and roll, and just immediately goes off it. And so right here, good crossover here to kind of keep this defender back on this hip, right? If he kind of just drives, then it's a little bit harder for the defender to stay, or easier for the defender to kind of stay in front. A little crossover here sets that up, and then he's able to use that to blow by, get into the defender, and then still absorb the contact and get the shot up. So we'll run through it once, just kind of full speed, but off the screen right here, cross, and then it gets the absorption from the contact and puts it in. And then on this one, I want to show off the passing ability from Gillespie. So again, here's going to be him with the ball, gets it back kind of into this handoff, and immediately flips it back into a pick and roll, right? Knowing that the defender is now going to be a little bit off balance. Able to get downhill, and this is just a really, really good pocket pass. Low man right here is not going to be able to get over in time to tag the roll. He engages this big. He has his guard kind of back on his hip. This pocket pass is just the perfect pass, allows his guy to get all the way to the rim and finish. Malachai Palmer is a 6'5" freshman shooting guard who last played at Mount Zion Prep in Maryland. He averaged 10.9 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. He is a bigger guard that is a high volume scorer. He took a ton of shots, and he's able to kind of create whatever shot he wants. There wasn't a ton of efficiency from it, but a lot of it is because he had to take a lot of tougher shots too. He showed good capability to score at all 3 levels. He really liked getting to pull-ups in some of the games that I watched. Just one dribble pull-ups, whether it be from 3 or 15, 17 feet. I think he needs more consistency within the jumper, but kind of going back to the theme with him is like maybe reducing his roll will just increase his efficiency, because then those kind of really bad shots won't be taken. Now he's going to be very old for a freshman. He'll be over 20, I believe, before the season even starts. He's going to have a Big Ten ready body from day one, and so that could translate defensively in terms of what he's able to do at 6'5" and moving pretty well, although I think he probably guards more wings than pure guards. Overall, I just kind of want to see more consistency from him and see kind of what the role is on this team. All right, so on this clip right here with Palmer, we're going to look at the shot creation that he has and just being able to pretty much get to whatever shot he wants. He's going to be kind of down here. He's going to eventually run off a pin down. And that's exactly what happens there, right? And so now he's going to get the ball here. Offense is going to kind of clear out. And so now it's just going to be a little bit of a one-on-one situation, sizing up his defender. And it's just going to be one dribble, easy pull-up, rises up, and knocks it down. Tafari Gapari is a 6'9" junior power forward transferring from Georgia Tech. He averaged 5.1 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1.1 blocks per game last season. He is a very athletic and mobile forward that brings a lot of value defensively. He works really well as a rim protector. He was top 100 in the country last season in terms of block percentage. I like him at his best, though, when he can kind of roam and isn't necessarily somebody that has to be stationed at the rim, kind of like a Julian Reese, which is why I think defensively Gapari could pair really well with a guy like him. He feels more of a 4 to me than 5, although he did have to play the 5 at times last year. The offense wasn't good. He hasn't been a good shooter. He's a 21% from 3 in his career. He has the athleticism and coordination to kind of drive and get downhill, but he does not have really much strength or touch at all to finish a lot of the shots needed down low. I think a stronger base could help a lot, but he's going to bring more of his value from the defensive side. We'll look at the defense this play from Gillespie, and so he's going to be right here, number 5. Initially, it's going to be kind of one-on-one. Doesn't let the guard go anywhere, and he's not, I don't think he wants Gillespie like on the perimeter a ton, but he can step out there and definitely do it when needed. Ball gets kicked, and now he's going to be able to rotate over and get this block. And so I think he just has really good instincts of being able to, when he can roam, right, and then come over and help, get a block like that due to the athleticism, and just being able to kind of almost play like free safety at times and help protect the rim that way. Jaylen Young is a 6'2" senior combo guard transferring from Memphis. He averaged 2.2 points, 1.3 rebounds, and 0.9 assists per game last season. He is a high energy guard that he's going to play hard in whatever minutes he's given. He's played 2 years at the D1 level, and he hasn't had an insane role in either year, but when he does play, he plays hard, he's going to hustle, he's going to be able to dive on the floor. I think defensively, he has pretty good hands, and that allows him to get a lot of steals and just kind of rip the ball free. On-ball defense aside from that, though, I think is fine. Like I said, good energy, but not the quickest. Offensively, it really feels like he should be purely an off-ball guard to me and not a primary guard. There's not a ton of comfort handling the ball, and that leads to a lot of turnovers. I do trust the shooting at least a bit for being, a solid mid-30s shooter. Smooth form, and it makes me think he could be better and more of a consistent kind of catch and shoot from 3 off-ball role. He struggles driving the ball, he doesn't have a tight handle, and has difficulty creating separation, but for him to kind of crack the rotation, I think it's going to come more from the defensive end, being able to knock down shots, and then in theory, hopefully just kind of be able to handle the ball a little bit when needed. So I'm going to look at him being able to kind of get to his shot a little bit. It isn't his strongest suit, but he showed the ability to do it at times, and maybe in a little bit more consistent role, it could pop. So this is going to be him right here. Number 1, get the ball, and does a great job attacking closeouts. Now, he's not able to kind of create separation, and he really did struggle inside of the paint. So once this happens, he just does a good job of, okay, I'm just going to stop and then pull up. I like the form. I think it's pretty smooth and repeatable, so he finds some success there. Derek Queen is a 6'10" freshman center that last played at Montverde Academy. He averaged 16.4 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 2.0 assists per game. He is the definition of a very skilled big man. He can just do a lot with the ball. He's a big body, 6'10", 240 pounds that can really score in the post. I think right now I'm more confident with him just kind of banging down low and getting to the rim rather than trying to get to a hook, but I think that touch with the hook is definitely there, and that upside there's a ton of it. Now, what sets him apart to me really is the passing is so good. He can make like really any pass you want from a guard, but he can do it at 6'10", 240 pounds. He can make a lot of live dribble reads, and I think he should be really good passing out of the post. If he gets to the point where he demands double teams because of how he can score, that's going to be an issue for defenses because he's just going to make the right pass. I think defensively he has good upside. He isn't the most athletic, but he does have pretty quick hands. This is definitely a big area I want to see kind of improvement in. The jumper right now is non-existent. I haven't really seen him taking any jumpers, and he hasn't throughout high school, so we'll just have to see if that ever develops. But he's a guy that can really create his own either from the perimeter in terms of just being able to drive, but then also in the post and make the right pass always. All right, so on this clip right here, we're going to look at Queen getting a post-up look. It's going to be him right here. Montverde sets a cross screen for him to work from the block now and get the ball. And this is where, so you can see the double teams coming already. He has good recognition of, okay, double teams coming from high side. I'm going to try to go low side. Goes away from the defender, and then you can just see him bully right there. So moves away from the defender, creates all the space he needs, and is able to go up and get the finish. It's not a common thing for a big to have that type of awareness and movement right away. And next, we have to look at the passing ability from Queen. This is going to be him right here, getting the ball up at the top of the key. There's going to be a back screen, nothing coming from it. And then it's just one live dribble. And you look, he's reading this defense the whole way. Boom. As soon as there's an opening, skip pass, live dribble, left hand on the money, and teammates able to knock it down. Like, just these passes aren't normal. This is not a normal pass for really anybody. And he's doing it as a high school senior at 6'10". It is just unreal stuff. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and click here to see the Nebraska Newcomers breakdown.